and welcome to game two of TPO versus or TPO Cheezers versus Testy Culls. Doesn't look like we are online yet. There we are. Okay. So we apologize for the delay there. Our Twitch was acting up a little bit.
Yes, we did have a bit of technical issues where a computer wasn't allowing us to continue production without constantly kicking us offline. So we did have to switch back to the original TPO esports channel.
And TPO Cheezers is going to have a ban loss for the again similar to the first. So last game was was a good game by both teams for not knowing each other and not really having much time to practice. Tacticals was actually like very impressive. We're gonna have a little bit of a swap out um, with the mid laners. It looks like we're subbing in Victoria's Echo and subbing out Huge Anus. Still a mouthful and a half for me to say, but okay. So we are just currently waiting for the teams to be all set draft wise. Jim, how'd you feel about last game?
It was very interesting. Wasn't expecting that much damage out from the Tristana later in the game because they kind of just stopped farming.
Yeah.
It looked like the Zaya definitely had a lot more CS at the end of the game, which was a big factor. We're just currently waiting on the two teams to get ready. Um, Personally, I'm hoping we did just see a best of three series that went to the final game. I kind of hope that that's the same thing that happens here. It would be fun and exciting, and everybody just loves the game three.
Right? Who doesn't love to go to game three?
And the pick bin is starting.
All right. So we're gonna see an instant ban, a Varus ban come through against TPO Cheezers.
There's bin is something that
I'm
we have
waiting for the
seen.
Tristana ban.
Would not surprise me for a Tristana ban either. The Varus ban that is something that we have seen played by Florigato um, in the past.
Oh, and the Vladimir. Poor Funny Beaver just wants to play that Vladimir, and they're just like, nope, sorry, request denied.
That is definitely one of Funny Beaver's main picks, though.
Yes.
That is a
A
singed
Singe,
ban.
yeah, Singe was banned last game as well, which is kind of like an interesting because he's not someone that I see relatively often in the meta, but it's also I'm in low elo and it doesn't really matter what you pick in any lane. The third ban is aimed towards their top laner. Aztec's probably malding right now, but he can't have his Pantheon. And there goes the Tristana.
Definitely a
Okay.
worthy ban this time.
Yeah.
Getting rid of that Tristana was a big factor. That Tristana brand was almost exhausting when it came to that bot lane. And that's a
Yes.
first pick Zac, which was
They
very
first picked Zach
impactful.
last time.
I did not get the chance to see it. I was doing production for the previous game that we had, so I wasn't able to catch the first draft
Yeah,
pick
Lord
order.
Voldemort really came in and like came out strong with Zach, and then they're gonna return with the first pick Nami, same as last time. They're gonna insta pick Syndra, kind of as like a protection. Like I don't want to ban, so if I don't want to ban, I'm just gonna first pick it. So.
Two comfort picks so far. Nami's definitely something that we've seen from Shadow Wizard, based off of his solo queue and everything like that, as well as Syndra is one of Funny Beaver's popular most played champs. We do see the Caitlyn coming out for Legion Iced Tea. And they're looking like just getting the brand once again.
I mean, the brand's not a bad pick, especially with a Caitlyn. I mean, anything really with a Caitlyn or brand is fine. It's a safe pick. Brand's kind of like that safety. I mean, for me, anyways, it's like a safety support. I know I can outdo damage. I know I can, keep my 80 carry alive. I just need to not take the kills. My issue. And we're gonna have another Jarvan game.
Another
I'm
Jarvan
coming
out
to
for
terms I'm coming to terms that like there are certain people that just like their champs.
This is starting to feel
Regardless.
like a salty run back by Cheezer, though. They have not picked a single new champ. They're just banning different champs. The only champ that hasn't been played in game one was the Caitlyn on both sides. Jax and Sion are banned, so different top laners are going to come through. Very interesting.
A Yorick ban. Okay.
I haven't
I
honestly
can
been able
dig
to
it,
look
but
that much into the two teams. I just pulled out Liam McPoyle, and I do see that he does, in fact,
does he play it?
play Yorick. Got all of 2023 so far, 24 games on him. That is something to think of. It looks like that is a Yone top lane. So they did just blind pick
No.
that, unless it's a Yone bot lane, which I would be very surprised.
Actually, nothing surprises me with this team. Nothing.
I don't know if Yone wants to get bullied that hard by this Caitlyn brand, who's going to have a lot of pressure. And
Yeah.
there's currently, for Cheezer, there's currently not a lot of push. And Orianna does come out for the mid lane. It could even be a Syndra bot lane. It could be Syndra Nami. So they could have been looking to flex that there. So there is a bit of flex in their comp, potentially. But that Orianna definitely has a lot of delivery systems going for her currently with that Zac going, as well as now the Shen for that top lane for Testy Culls. And a Darius does come out, so it's gonna either be the Syndra or the Yone in this bot lane for Cheezer currently.
Wait, what? What is this modeling?
I'm guessing it's the Syndra. I've seen it before. I know that Florigato has played it in the past. We've seen him play that. Yone is something that Funny Beaver does play. There is very limited range though. So they're going to look to dive and get on top of you.
I mean, yeah, it's just an interesting. It's an interesting matchup, that's for sure. How are you feeling about these teams right now?
It is something very. I personally just basic front to back. Testicles does have the better team fight, but depending on how well this Shen uses their abilities, I
Hmm.
definitely think that the Darius could just potentially be taking turret plates left and right, and
I
it could.
haven't seen Shen in the matchup or in the history of Liam, but I haven't really done that much digging.
Trying to check right now. Um,
Oh yeah,
haven't
I have
seen
that
it.
on the entire
It's been
time.
played once this year. He went 2-6-5. Doesn't have that much mastery points, so depending on how it's played, he might end up giving up a lot for himself
Yeah,
and way too much for the team. We've seen it in the past where Shens have just essentially sacked themselves for the team, which ended up costing their team the game. I did just start the prediction, um,
I was just gonna say.
so those
So
of
the
you
user
in
channel
chat,
points.
feel free to vote to see on who you think is going to win game two between Testy, Culls, and Cheezer.
And then, I do like both teams' drafts. TPO Cheezers never fails to surprise me on like what they decide to pick, what they go into. So, I do have to say, I think that like damage wise, I'm gonna have to give it to testicles, but I do like TPO draft, Cheezer's draft. Because we've got Darius in the top lane, we've got Shen top lane, Zach Jarvan jungle. You really think it's a Syndra Ori
Yeah.
mid lane?
No, I think
Because
it's
like
a
it wouldn't
Ori,
surprise me.
Yone, mid lane, Syndra, bot lane, into Caitlyn Brand.
Okay, so you think it's a Syndra bot lane?
Yes.
Okay.
Are
I
gonna see
haven't
it in a sec.
seen Oriana.
Because Yone is something that, and
Yeah,
yep, it is a Yone mid lane. Um, Funny Beaver just locked it in client, so he does have that going for him.
I don't know if I've seen. Um, I'm still gonna call them Yaku because I can't pronounce their new name to save my life.
Florigato,
Yeah, that one. I don't know if I've seen them play Syndra.
we saw it when they were in Mythic. I don't know if they played it in um, the charity
Oh
tournament or
right,
not,
you are right.
but we have seen it before.
Oh, my headset going my kingdom. Okay. Let's see.
So it will be an interesting matchup. Syndra will hit level 6 and have a bit more pressure
Mm-hmm.
into that bot lane, so
Oh,
that might have been what they were looking for.
yeah.
But my biggest fear is there isn't that much range. So they're just going to have to dive in, and there's not that heavy scaling that Testicles has on Cheezer's side. Um, the Zac will scale based off his health. Um, Jarvan's going to have
Yep.
consistent damage throughout the game. Same thing with the Darius. But as long as Darius gets ahead, he can steamroll games. Oriana and the Yone kind of scale together, but the Oriana does have a little bit of a favor, winning about 51% of the matchup uh, time time in the matchup. Caitlyn will end up outscaling the Syndra um, with her damage and just the consistent DPS. And then Brand just scales well as well.
I
So
mean,
it's gonna
Brand just
be
scales indefinitely. Did Brand even really fall off?
um, not really. He does have that consistent burn damage throughout the game um, that will just continue to build up on him as he builds further and further into his items.
All right. Well, we are gonna go on a quick spectator delay to get ready for game number two. Don't go anywhere. Will return in the stream. We'll be working this time. And welcome back to game 2 of TPO Cheezers versus Testy Culls. This is game number 2, like I mentioned. It is 1, 2, 0,
Summoner's Rift.
0 on the side of TPO Cheezers. So this is kind of like their redemption game to get themselves back. Can they take game 2?
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Testy Culls going to make their... Oh, they kind of made their first intro there. Getting the Cinderella, the brand W.
What would you like to see the change up for game 2 for Cheezer so that they can bring this game back and go to a game 3?
Minions have spawned.
I think that when I noticed that last time the top laner was kind of like on his own, kind of farming like the jungle and split pushing. I think that there's a time to split push and there's a time to team fight. I'd like to see them have a little bit more objective control. They didn't have much that last game. They kind of gave a lot over, but every game has the opportunity to turn around, so I have no doubt that it's going to be just a oopsies.
Interesting movement up in top lane as Liam just kind of gives pressure over onto this wave. Darius is just able to kind of push him out, making sure that he can secure level 2 first. Not entirely sure why Shen positioned himself into that river. Meanwhile, bot lane, Caitlyn and Brand are getting that push and pressure as they should be in this bot lane. With just the amount of poke that they can put out, and the fact that Syndra did go tiers was not going to have any additional combat stats early on in this laning phase.
It was brought up on your stream, Jim. What is your belief on these starting long swords in 3? Or the long swords versus the Doran's blade?
Ultimately, it is something that, depending on how you want to play, if you think that you're going to be fighting a lot, long swords and 3 potions will help out a lot more. Just the amount of healing potions that you'll get is significantly better, but in this case for the Caitlyn, they kind of got the raid ready. The Syndra's not going to want to fight with that tier. And so just being able to kind of passively heal up for the longsword will kind of help out during that laning phase, being able to just get that pressure in as well. It is something that's a bit of a matchup dependency.
And I've always been curious about other people's opinions on it, because I know I don't start Doran's blade very often unless I know that I struggle with
Bit of damage out by Funny Beaver onto the Orianna. Zach is up top again, looking to kind of pressure in on the aggression of the Darius. Darius does blow his ghost, trying to get anything out of there. Is getting Shen a bit down. Flash for flash currently. All 3 flashes are blown. He's trying to heal up as the Jarvan's coming in. This might be first blood over. The Shen's trying to go in and secure the first blood. He does. He does ultimately go down to the Jarvan. Now it's the Zac and the Jarvan fighting up. Zach's trying to walk out.
Zach should be able to get out of that. And it looks like Shen's teleporting right back in and is like, yeah, no, I got this, I'm coming back. Where Darius has the Black Ghost, which were both used in that last fight.
And
the last kerfuffle.
Flash forward from the Caitlyn as well as Ignite does get that kill onto Shadow of this Wizard in bot lane.
Wait a minute, wait a minute.
What?
Syndra, please. I'm so confused. Are
Syndra's
they
just trying to
asserting
scale.
their dominance?
No, it's trying to scale for later in the game. Top lane, there is a bit of fighting going on back and forth. Mysterious has been playing a bit aggressive. He does get a lot of bleed damage onto the Shen.
Yeah. If Aztec gets onto Darius, he like instantly becomes this like aggressive like maniac that we all know and love. Looks like Kuga's trying to like kind of come in from like the backside.
Looking to play a lot around this top side because this is the second game that he's done it. This is his second time top.
Yeah. I don't necessarily know if he wants to dance that lane, but
It's just
especially
wasting
with
a lot of time.
he is wasting a lot of time, especially now that Dragon's up. Neither team has vision on Dragon right now, but it does look like bot lane has the cryo there. Yeah, I honestly think that too much time was wasted up in the top lane.
Oriana did blow her ult in that skirmish in mid lane between the Yone and her. So that is something that's going out. Maybe a little bit of nerves. Didn't want the Yone to full commit. Wasn't sure where the Jarvan was itself. While bot lane, it does look like the Zac was trying to do the same thing that the Jarvan just was in top lane. Just sitting around wasting time.
I mean, the Ocean Drake for the first dragon. It looks like they're trying to get some vision on it, but looks like the Bram's gonna get caught out here. Not a place that they want to be.
Bram could potentially be caught out, but the Yone isn't gonna roam down, so he is able to just walk back out into his jungle.
Why did they direct the camel up top lane this game?
They've been fighting a lot.
Sometimes I wish I could just not be strict. But looks like is that
Flash blown by Oriana in mid lane. A bit aggressive. Stunned by Brand, does get a kill onto Syndra. That early power and aggression by this bot, Testicles bot lane is coming out rewarding. As both the support and AD carry are 1-0-1, there is a significant CS lead currently. Bit of question will start going Cull and Tier, as well as Dark Seal.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. And Yone really just walked away and didn't know how, leaving a very sad way out.
Testicles are looking to just rotate and go for the string. I don't know if Cheezer can currently fight it. There is a decent amount of golden damage available for Testicles, and Jarvan's just forced to flag and drag out.
Unfortunate. Right now there's about only about like a 1,000 gold lead, but the bot lane is significantly farther ahead gold wise than on the side of Testicles than on TPO Cheezer. Caitlyn has about 1,500 in her pocket, and overall has about 3,500, where Caitlyn has about 2,500.
Flash forward from Brand, does throw out the ult and gets a stun. Caitlyn does get the snipe out with the Q. Get another kill onto the Syndra, who's currently 0-2.
I have to say, it's been fun watching Legion IC play. They definitely are well versed in their AD carries, that's for sure.
I think this Jarvan needs to go. They need to send some help down. The Zac is looking into mid. Wasn't able to land the knock-up. Ult is blown out. The Yone does throw out his own ult, looking for a re-engage. Ori ult as well as the Shen ult does come through. The Jarvan ult only just traps the Yone into the Cataclysm with their teammate. Darius does come in, is getting the ults out. Currently got one down as well as the passive of the Zac. Good walk down by the Darius to join in the fight, making sure to get 2 kills there.
I don't know. It looks like Jarring Snow is kind of like looking for an engage here, not to leave their buddy leading all by themselves. That really wasn't a bad engage there. Kind of brought the teams back up to fairly even.
Bit of a misplay, but was cleaned up by Aztec up in top lane on that Darius to kind of make it worthwhile. A lot of ults blown by both sides in that fight, as well as summoner spells.
Yeah. This was confusing. With the dark seal. But Caitlyn is 2-0. Second Noon Quiver. It looks like they're headed right towards Kraken's Land. Or Gale Force. I don't think Gale Force would be a bad option here.
No, Gale Force would be a good one with the amount of dive that there is. Zac does return mid lane looking for this Yone. The Orianna ult does come out. Jarvan does engage, trying to get the Yone out, does get him out, but now he's caught into a 1v2. He's gonna pay his life for the Yone to get out.
Pay your taxes. Pay your taxes to be alive. I mean, this... It doesn't look like you're letting any games go unpunished.
Big thing to look at right now in this game is just the sheer difference between the two teams in the bot lane. There's currently a 1200 gold lead between the two carries, as well as an XP difference as Caitlyn is level 9 to Syndra's level 7. Yone did look for an ult there onto the Orianna, but they decided to have Jarvan is come in, is spotted out by that ward and
we do have Dragon up at about 20 seconds.
big ult by the Brand does get a kill onto both the Syndra and the Nami. This bot lane for Cheezers is feeling the pain currently, not able to really exist in their own lane. Well behind. Yone does try to go in. Kuba is there at Drake, but I don't know if he wants to try for this Drake with his bot lane being down. Might be wiser to try just going up top lane and looking for this Herald.
Yeah.
But it looks like Cheezer is trying to go for it. But the forward squad of Testy Culls is there. Yone goes on in onto the Orianna, but the Orianna throws out her ult as well as the Shen ult does come through. The Darius did come in, does get a good shutdown onto the Caitlyn, looking for the Zac as well. Ghosting in, gets a double kill, a triple kill for the Darius currently. Shen is forced to run away over the wall as it's currently a 4-for-1, just treating the jungler over for Cheezers in that fight.
Alright, so that was a turnaround. It brought actually them the goal right back to even, with shutting down the Caitlyn, shutting down the Brand was massive. Brand was able to pick up Landry's, and Caitlyn was able to pick up the Gale Force. Orianna picked up the Crown to just give her that extra shielding. Shen does have the Heart Steel, where the Darius went the Trinity Force. Syndra picked up the Night Guard and does have 3 stacks on the Dark Steel apparently.
Could get some stacks for a kill and an assist. There. Darius just walking into lane and looking for another fight onto the Shen. Does have a lot of damage that he can throw out. He is just stacking up those weed stacks already. Aggressively tanking turret shots.
Why are they going so hard for this? Oh, they're dropping Herald.
Looks like they're looking to get everything set up bot side strength. Zach does get a good counterplay, and the Shen's able to shut down the Darius. Looks like the Jarvan's trying to go to get a return kill onto the Shen, but the Shen just barely dies. The burn of the Jarvan. The double kill goes over to the Shen.
Jarvan?
I think it was... Might not have smited there. No, it's Yone that's getting caught out as the Zac goes in and the Shen flashes forward. Good play by the Zac to stop the ult from getting over the wall. Yone flashes out but doesn't get any. What?
They keep DMing. It's better. Yeah, I don't know what really to say here.
Shen ult does come out. Looking for more of a fight. Do get the shutdown onto the brand, but Darius is now way too low. Jarvan's caught out as the Zac does re-engage. Jarvan does go in, but only gets the passive for his life. Not a worthy trade, but the Syndra does come in, does get a kill, does not block the Caitlyn ult for the Nami, who does go down. Shen re-engages under turret, does get the taunt as Syndra does go down as well.
This is a messy fight.
A lot of back and forth. Neither team really blinking right now in fights. Everybody's looking to kind of make those plays. Yone is looking for this Caitlyn. The Caitlyn does get pulled in, dunked by the Darius, who turns and dunks the Orianna just as well. A double kill for him. Aztec War Priest is just popping off onto this Darius, showing why it's something that you have to be afraid of, but it does burn down to the brand.
I mean, you can escape a lot of things, but you can't escape a brand. W and E and alt anything. You can't get out of there. So far, we only have 1 turret down. We do have dragons coming up.
Shen does go in onto the Syndra, who's already at half health up in this top lane. She's able to just walk out through river. There wasn't any vision, so Shen did want to chase after.
I mean, I don't think he really wants to fight. Hey, dragon's spawning. It looks like both teams are kind of in position for this. As it's currently 1-for-1 in the dragon.
Syndra is top lane, but she is running teleport this game, so could potentially teleport down. Testy Culls does have that siding pressure where they're already in that bot river. They even started Drake as mid and top push down that mid lane. The dragon's gone. Darius is just looking to take a second turret for that Drake. The Shen does go in on him. Currently not taking any damage from the Darius. The bleed finally comes through. He is getting closer and closer. But the group of Testy Culls is coming in. The Tsunami ult does come out. Darius does get on top of the Orianna. The Shen does save her from the dunk, but now there's a double bubble landed by Nami, as well as the Yone ult gets 2 kills over. Caitlyn's throwing out autos. Doesn't get the kill onto the Darius. She gets stunned herself, and the ult comes through, but the heal does save her herself. Now the Caitlyn does get the Syndra to go down as well. Darius is able to back safely in the enemy jungle. Nami's definitely gonna have to walk out, definitely not wanting to get caught out by the brand.
No.
This is just
now the brand seems to be a menace these past 2 games.
This is just definitely a bloody, messy game. Currently 32 kills in 21 minutes.
Damn. More kills than there are minutes in the game. Oh. And we do have Baron up. Cheezer's gonna go for the Cheezer's on the phone press.
Darius does catch out the brand right in front of the Baron pit. They are looking for a bit further. But the 5-man unit of Cheezer is there. Caitlyn is bot lane, so if they notice this, they could potentially turn for that Baron. This might be a misplay by this Caitlyn, but Cheezer's is not electing to look for it.
No, they want blood, they want to fight. I think what else needs to be really picked up here, because everyone has their mythics. Except, actually, Zach does not have a mythic, and he has not completed his jungle item yet.
Zach normally goes mythic second item though. Normally see something like this on fire, and then he goes into the, I've seen Heartsteel on him. Looks like he's going to be going Jacksha. Yone does throw out his ult here mid lane, trying to get a kill onto the Ori, but the Shen ult does come through. Zach and Brand catch the Yone out, and the shutdown goes over to the Caitlyn ult. Flash by Nami to avoid getting hit herself. The Syndra is here to stop the Zach from chasing a bit further. Now the Zach is going to walk into the Darius, who is going to look to chase a bit more. Flash away from the Zach to make sure that he doesn't get pulled and at least lose his passive. Darius roaming the enemy's team's jungle kind of seems like a shark in the waters. So I don't know what person on their team is going to want to face check him.
Face check Darius?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone wants to face check that. Not with that bleed that comes along with Darius.
He feels fed, and I'm pretty sure in a solo queue game, fed Darius like this tends to result in like 27 question mark pings coming through onto that top lane. Even though this Shen definitely did not feed this Darius himself, going 5-3-2 currently.
No, he's a lot better than
Darius does need to back off here. He did see them clearing vision in river, and Testy Culls is looking to roam down, try to get this Darius. He does have Deadman's Plate, so he is able to kind of just back off. He does see 3 of them currently, just kind of keeping them occupied as the Yone and Syndra get pushes in both top and mid. The Shen is teleporting to this inhib turret to kind of stop the Yone from fighting. He does have ult to join this dragon fight if needed. Darius is looking to go behind the dragon pit, see what type of flank he can get out, but it's currently just him alone.
Yeah, I think that Testy Culls is gonna want to fight in a group with Darius, but also the group is like the bleed. I don't know if that's actually character.
Cheezer does start the Drake. The Darius is still looking for that flank. There's no vision behind. Darius has a blind flank. It's the Yone and Darius get onto the Caitlyn, and the Caitlyn's already down. Shen ult does come through, but it's not able to save anyone. Orianna ult comes through, but she's dead as well. Currently, the mid and support and ADC for Testy Culls is going down. Syndra does get the kill onto Zac after the passive is blown. Only Shen is able to walk out of that team fight. Cheezer's just looking to rotate towards that top lane. Definitely a massive flank by that Darius, and the Yone just being able to get in onto that Caitlyn. Somebody definitely needed to step forward. The Syndra is caught out by the Shen and does get killed. Not the best move there, as she is shut down. Is going to be without this Baron.
I think there was not a whole lot that could be done at that point. She kind of overstayed when
She definitely should have just rotated to help everybody topside. A misplayed and poor decision on the Syndra's part.
It looks like the brand is working on heel cut versus and Caitlyn is going for the LDR. I'm surprised I don't see any, like, of the Vampire Scepter.
For who?
I don't know.
For Caitlyn?
Yeah, like, I'm not really know what Caitlyn's current build is.
So right now she's worried about the Darius getting on top of her, so she needs heal cut and armor pen. That's why she's got Executioner's Culling and
Last Whisper. Yeah.
Last Whisper. So that's why she hasn't gotten any heal cut, but not heal cut, heal lifesteal.
Yeah,
but at this point in the game, Zac is definitely not taking his buffs really. Might take blue, but good flash by the Darius to avoid getting hit, but huge damage onto the Yone. He's gonna get forced to go back in. Shen does get into the back line. He's able to kind of he's looking for more, but there's no damage to follow up on him as he gets shut down. A questionable smite by the Zac to make sure that he get out. The Shen ult messy fight by both ends, ends up going 4 for 3 as the tanks are left alive on the side of Testy Culls and just the support.
I don't know if, like, if you're going back on my end or if I'm connected to the one.
Breaking up.
You're breaking up on my end, but I think that's because I'm connected to the other internet.
Might be my headset. Sometimes it does that if it gets low battery.
Weapon on the death cabinet checked up by Syndra just to kind of give him that more of that AP.
Syndra did end up selling the Dark Seal as well.
Yeah, she sold it a while ago.
I just noticed it.
When she picked up Seraphim,
Yone heavy solo engages onto Caitlyn. Questionable engage because there was the ward that saw several members in that bot side jungle. Not sure if he was just testing his damage to see if he could just kill her quick, but the heal did kind of get her out of there, as well as the shield. The Orianna.
Another turret down. Or on the side of TPO Cheezer. This thing is so even, it's not funny. We've got another dragon coming up in about 25 seconds is a hex tech streak. I don't get my untack settings in. Which I believe this opens up the hex tech.
So it's currently 2-2 on the dragon. So whoever takes this is going to be on soul point, but it's not a do or die Drake. They are looking to catch out the Darius, who just rotates towards top side, but now he's on the opposite side for the Drake of his team. Potential King could be gone.
He's a little separated from this team right now.
Cheezer's is just looking to go in and try to take this Drake. The smite comes out but doesn't get the smite on it for the Zac. The big ultimate by Yon onto the 4-man, but he goes down himself. Bubble stops the ultimate from Shen in onto the Caitlyn, but the stasis does stop it. Nami and Syndra are being forced to run out. The Zac is trying to chase, but they aren't able to get another kill. Another big stun followed up by the ultimate by Syndra. Darius is just pushing mid. He took an inhib turret and inhib during that fight.
Yeah, they needed to back to stop him.
3 for 2 in that fight, and Drake went over to Cheezer's. Not the best fight for Testy Culls there.
I don't know if game 1 was just Cheezer's wake up. It's like the practice game, and this is like the actual game for them. But they're playing much better this game than game.
I think they must have woken up Florigato partway through this, because he started off rough, but he's now currently 8-7-2 after starting 0-3.
Started that protein powder.
He's definitely got a lot of the team on his back. Yon tries to catch out the Brand, but misses the ults. Aztec does get the flank, but he's currently 1v3 at the blue buff. The split fight, he is ghosting, trying to get away. The stun does go wide. A double pull by Darius, as well as the ultimate by Jarvan does get a huge knockup. 4 currently down. The Caitlyn's trying to do what she can, but the Darius just dunks her down. And that looks like it's going to be it, as mid lane, it just already has the super minions crashing into the Nexus turrets.
Looks like that's all very well played. Looks like this is going to game number 3. So hold on to your seats, and we're going to go get ready for game number 3.
Welcome back, everyone, as we are getting ready for Game 3's draft currently. It is current. There was Testicles that did take Game 1, and Game 2 was taken by um, Cheezers in a
Cheezer.
dominating game by the Aztec War Priest as top lane Darius. There is a bit of some change-ups. Hugh Janus is back in for mid lane for Testicles, as well as Magus Knight stepping in. He's going to be playing top, and Aztec War Priest is going to jungle.
Aztec would like everyone to know that he is a psychopath. I
I'm
don't
not
think we
entirely
ever
sure about
questioned
that.
Oh, apparently you haven't done enough calls with Aztec. So yes, it was a really bloody game, and Aztec brought it. Game number 2 with his Darius Dunk Master nonsense. Like one of the most terrifying champs to lean up against, in my opinion, is this
Darius?
yeah, Darius. I can't get the words out. It's like my first time casting since coming back, so I'm like mixing up my words here. He has brain damage. Yes, me all know. Aztec is our known and loved protein powders in order to get his team pumped up for a game.
I think that's
Um,
what they have to do to get him pumped up for the game.
I mean, there's a lot of things they have to do to get each of these in for to get ready for games, but we don't talk about that. They're Florigato. So I know I'm excited to see what this game 3 is going to bring. If I clicked on the right spectate link, I'm gonna be watching the one from last game, which is not really going to help us much.
Currently
Hit start.
seeing if there's any sort of issues or anything like that.
Oh, there's issues already. I just don't know if it's anything
Well,
game.
I'm seeing if there's issues with the technical difficulties on Testicle's side. Game 3.
They did say R for draft.
Emily, has Chet been talking this series? Or
Yeah, why?
okay. There was an issue with my chat where I was stuck onto last series and I didn't get, so if Chet, you were talking to me and trying to get my attention, I apologize.
Oh no, they have not.
Okay.
No, no
They've
one's
been
been talking in.
antisocial.
Yes.
Got it.
Oh. We're just waiting. Okay. Hold on, let me
It's
see.
a bit of delay.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah. Let me think of things.
Just checking on the team.
Oh, they get extra time.
Oh, yes. I forgot about that. There was the change, so they do get extra time currently to scout out the team with the sub coming in.
Yeah,
Completely forgot
with
about that.
um, oh my god. Why are they blowing up chat?
sitting there waiting.
Yeah, I forgot. So when there's like a lane swap or when like there's like someone new that comes in, the other team gets an additional time to kind of scout them out. And so we're just kind of giving Testy Culls a few extra moments before they can just destroy. This team again because Aztec won't be playing chat. I was in a call. He's telling me he doesn't want to take it. Oh my god.
All right, and we are going into pick ban now. First ban on that Pantheon.
What? Pantheon? Or is it just a hover? No, it is.
Aztec
Pantheon.
plays it in the jungle.
Oh, does they? It's sobbing right now.
Looking to see what are the other bans for each side.
Cheezer's is a ban because everyone decides to name change and then not let me know that they decided to name change. So when you do me one more favor, stop telling the entire TPO Discord what I play things.
Listen, that's not me. They can look at your op.gg or u.gg. Shows up.
Can you guys
League
please
of
go through and
Graphs.
just ban each and every single champ that Aztec plays? That would be a great thing.
And it doesn't help that your icon, Aztec, is also Pantheon. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, Aztec has a little bit of brain damage, but it's okay. Still our favorite Aztec. Oh my god, testicles are gonna take Nami.
Nami is stolen away. They're looking at just taking that there. Gangplank, a blind gangplank, so it looks like they're trying to potentially do a weak side, top side
No.
here. So they do go with that. A Lux coming out. I haven't seen it played mid, so it's likely a Lux support.
It's a Lux support. That is. I don't think that you'll ever catch Funny Beaver Dead playing Lux.
It looks like it. That might be a Yorick topside for the answer into the gangplank.
Is that a fair matchup?
The Yorick's
I refuse to play either champ.
Yorick's definitely gonna have a little bit of lane bullying early on. But as the series goes on, Gangplank will deal a lot of damage to that Yorick. That's Caitlyn Lux. That is a very aggressive, potentially poke heavy bot lane, but that's an aggressive Lucian Nami bot lane. So if it's played right, they could do a lot and get on top of the Lux and Caitlyn. It is a Zac, so they're making Testicles jungler Lord Swoldemort play in a different jungler for the first time in the series.
I think that from what I've seen of Lord Voldemort play in the past, he had a few other tricks up his sleeve he could pull out.
Yone ban by Testicles. They don't want to see that again. Definitely had a good amount of ults that connected very well. Definitely some ults that turned the tides of some some of the fights there. It's the last ban for the Singed that's been banned every single game this series by
I mean, like,
Cheezer.
if they already picked York, then why ban Singe? Because it's not like Singe can really be played any other place but top lane. It's not like they're gonna play York anywhere else. I mean, maybe. And I'm just so.
It's a Syndra ban, which is something that we have seen Funny Beaver play as well. So his champ pool did take a bit of hits between these bans. 3 bans against him currently.
Oh boy.
Gonna see what's gonna come out here for Cheezer. There's a Silas. That is something that could be flexed mid because it is something that Funny Beaver does play, but it also could be potentially played jungle because Silas jungle is something that can be quite effective. The Vi does come in for Testy Culls in the jungle. It's something that could do a lot of early work and early pressure for this Testicles team, and it is something that they're going to want their bot lane to get ahead early because the Lucian doesn't scale as well as the Caitlyn.
Yeah.
And a Veigar locked in last for the mid lane of Testicles. So not that much front line. A York that's probably going to want to split push. And then a lot of squish with kind of mixed comp. The Vi's going to want to go in, but with the Lucian, but Nami and Veigar are going to be wanting to kind of peel or catch somebody out. And a
Oh no.
Darius jungle.
Yeah.
I have seen it played by Aztec in the top lane. I've seen him play it in some of his normal games in the jungle.
He played Darius Jungle in Mythic in the finals.
True, I forgot about that.
Yep.
I threw him in jungle for a bit, and
so so I've started. Let's just start with this. Who do you think won draft?
I honestly don't know because they both have a bit of scaling going for them. Gangplank scales heavy, as well as the Veigar scales heavy. The Vi pick into the rest of the 4-man squad is a bit interesting. She might be able to get out, engage or dive a backline and try to blow somebody up. But I don't know how much it works with the rest of the team. It's kind of like Testy Culls doesn't really have an idea of what the 4-man wanted to do with the Yorick there. They picked a bot lane that was strong. They picked a split pusher and then a meta jungler and a scaling mid laner. Not really anything that kind of says that what we're going to do. Meanwhile, Cheezer does have that split push capability with the Gangplank. They do have a bit of a front line with the Darius. Silas is going to look to engage in, and the Caitlyn and Lux do have that poke. So there is a bit more of a front line there for them versus Testicles. So I am going to give it to the Cheezers for this game. I am setting up a
just trying to
prediction for game 3 right now.
I hate Aztec. Okay. Let's see.
So those of you in the chat, don't forget to vote to see who you want to win with your channel points. But who do you think is going to end up winning this game, Emily?
I honestly, for the first time, really don't know. I think that both teams drafted well, but the fact that they gave Magus Gangplank is going to be a rough one. That's like one champ that like you don't want him on. He ruined my life when I was playing Urgot, so um, but then there's Silas. Silas has a ton of great ults to choose from. Darius is just annoying, and it's also Aztecs. So I just haven't seen much of Testicles play together, and the different champs that they play to be able to be like, oh yeah, for sure, like for sure, this team's gonna win. This team's gonna win. I think it's just gonna be up to. It's gonna be up to like what team can synergize better.
What team can start pulling away with the lead that they got and
Yeah.
where?
Yeah, like who, like what's where your like where are you going with like your ganks? Where are you gonna like, where's the prio lanes? Where can you get the objectives?
I would probably say prio lanes for Cheezer is kind of going to be around that mid top lane. Those will
Yeah,
be very impactful, not making sure that the Vagar can't scale, as well as kind of relieving some pressure for the Gangplank so that he can scale. Because the York can just take turrets if allowed.
I mean he
Caitlyn,
built Hullbreaker and split pushes. He's gonna take a page out of Juggernaut's book,
but it's
and that's
not a
gonna
split push
be.
meta anymore. That's the
It's
big
not a
thing.
split push meta, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't still work.
It can work, but it's not often. It's something that you
Yeah,
don't see well because ultimately, while split pushing, you end up losing so much if the team fights aren't going your way or your team has to
yeah,
take 4v5s all the time.
yeah. No, I agree. And we're gonna go into a quick spectator delay to get ready for game 3. This is the final game to see who takes this week 2 series. So stick around, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to game number 3 of the series TPO Cheezer versus Testy Culls. We are heading in. We had a little bit of a roster switch up. We have Magus Knight in top lane and Aztec War Priest in the jungle for a change, and we do have Hugh Janus back in the mid
30
lane.
seconds until minions spawn.
I will never understand. I'll never be able to say that name with a straight face, but hey.
Interesting runes. I don't know if they're normal on the side of testicles, because Yorick is running Phase Rush, and then it's Glacial Augment from Vhagar.
Minions
That
has
is
spawned.
something that might be a bit different for these two teams. Not entirely sure if those are what you tend to run. I don't play Yorick. Vhagar I haven't played in a while.
Phase Rush, yes, is typical in York.
Oh yes, I do see that it's Phase Rush or Comet for the poke.
Oh yeah, Phase Rush has been more popular as of
Very interesting.
Someone's promoting our W in Twitch chat. We don't even have the W code up there.
Yes, we do.
Where is that?
Over the directed camera box.
Right. I'm like looking at my screen like, no, it's not.
I'll actually be interested to see how this Glacial Augment works for Vhagar. Is he just going to build passively, or what? But currently each lane just kind of going back and forth. Magus Knight on Gangplank is getting a bit of chunk down. It is something that he can do early on with the corrupting potions.
I'm now like interested to see what the current build is currently Burst Strike.
And the Gangplank is going in onto the Yorick top side. Phase Rush does get him away from there, and ends up being almost an even trade with the minions doing a lot of damage back onto the Gangplank.
So interesting enough, it's closer to being a mid lane build.
As expected.
The Glacial. You take a comment and support.
He's just looking to set up and get those slows down on anybody that gets caged by him.
Yeah.
Does look like both junglers are looking for this top side. The bubble does land on the Caitlyn, who is forced to flash and heal to get away. Ignite did come out from the... The Aerie does get the kill after a flash W by the Nami. Does get the first blood onto the Caitlyn.
Ooh.
Good bubbles landed by the Nami there.
Yeah. I'm
Mid and
just
jungle.
gonna say like these teams are very impressive with how well they're playing together.
Beaver does catch out the Vhagar with a lot of damage there, but does take Kashurit's shot, so it just ends up being an easy trade.
Oh yeah, so I'm just like actually I was taking a look through this player's history, and it looks like Glacial is a lot on Vhagar mid. It's interesting. I like to see people's different ways of building things.
Decent amount of farming coming down by these two top laners. Nobody's really blinking or anything. Something to keep an eye out on is the upgrades for the Gangplank ult. See how many of those gold coins the Gangplank does end up having good Q and trap by the Caitlyn Lux. The Darius is there, it does get the kill onto the Nami. The Caitlyn trap stops Lord Voldemort from going in, but Hugh Janus is able to come in and flash as Florigato does go down once again after being caught out.
He did use his teleport to get down to bot lane to put that little
Silas did
mission,
get
we call
some
it, or
pressure,
whatever.
but Silas is overstaying in both the jungle and
Overstaying
mid.
his welcome.
Rotated up.
I don't think it's something that they can really fight him on, especially with Veigar being leveled down. There is a little bit of a lead in the jungle, like the jungler item line.
Flash blown out by the Gangplank, trying to get out. He is caught in the cage. The Maiden is brought out by Yorick, trying to get pressure onto that Gangplank. Currently flashless and teleport is currently down. He finally did get his ultimate.
See where else on the map is.
Barrel does land for the Gangplank. Looks like directed camera likes the amount of fighting that's going up in top lane as well.
Mine keeps going to bot lane.
It's bouncing back and forth. Q landed by the Nami. Ultimate from Gangplank comes out, but it's not in a spot that kind of forces Testy Culls to come to fight, so they're just able to walk away through it.
Gameplank's an interesting thing.
Bubble comes out, does get missed. A good remember the name of that spell. Good E by Caitlyn to get further away. Darius is coming in the backside, but the flash does get her out. But Caitlyn, the flash was from actually Lux. Lux was trying to land a Q. He wasn't able to. Nami's been playing exceptionally well with those bubbles, making people path differently or landing them.
Yeah. No, they're doing very well. And the gold lead is actually like fairly even.
It's a 500
like,
gold lead for and
yeah,
the smite comes through for Lord Voldemort, but it's not at the right time, so Caitlyn ends up getting the Drake for Cheezer's there.
I can't imagine that this is an easy thing for like a new team to come in and be like, all right, we're going to game 3. You guys are kind of exhausted after game 1 and 2 playing your hearts out and then having to play a third one. So I put some less sympathy into those who've never played competitively. It looks like I don't know what. I don't understand the calls. Everyone's buying calls on TPO Cheezer. That looks like a team thing.
It's when you want to farm well, but the bubble does land onto the Caitlyn, but the kill goes over to the Nami, which isn't the best thing because you want to get that Lucian ahead early with that kill goal. She did burn Flash and Ignite for it. At this point, it might have been better for Caitlyn to run Barrier or something. The amount of bubbles that have come through. No cleanse you can't use it on those knockups, but it seemed like the heal is enough.
You can use the barrier, can't you?
You can use Barrier, but you can't use cleanse. Gangplank doing exceptionally well farming in topside. Ult does come out. The Darius is topside as well. Does get caught in the cage after blowing his ghost, so the York's able to walk out, but the Maiden does end up paying the price.
No. Is the maiden of some importance there?
What did you say?
Is like maiden of like some importance here? Like I know it's part of who York
Oh.
is. Oh.
Ult
A
by
fight in
Lux
bot
does
lane.
land. The flash forward from the Lucian to get a kill, but the double kill does go over. Vi and York does collapse onto the Herald take, killing the Darius.
Oh no. No. The Herald went back to full health.
I don't think it's anything to dissuade them. There's currently 3 people up there. The Gangplank just backed. Silas isn't even running up.
No, it was just like it was all the health bar was like all the way down, and then just to see it go all the way back up, I would have been so sad. Oh wow! I think I should have had more caffeine for you. It looks like Lucian as well. Lucian and Caitlyn are both well on their way to getting their Gale Force. Looks like it's a Gale Force game for both.
Magus did step forward, but I don't know if that was the best call by him. He ends up taking a lot of damage after being trapped in the cage by Yorick.
I do have to say, personally, like, Magus is my favorite in the support role. From, like, the few years that I've been watching.
Fight in mid lane. Silas is able to sidestep the Q from Vi. Able to get out. The flash did get blown to dodge the bubble though. Now Testy Culls kind of has that inside track to set up vision.
Nami did also use her ult in that fight.
Vice is roaming down bot side, does have her ult. She is seen on vision though. Origato and Shadow Wizard is able to walk out safely. It is something to notice that Gangplank does currently have his ult, and that is a global. It does look like he is ulting. Did ult to kind of stop the push bot side, get rid of that wave. Lux does get hit by the bubble. The Lucian ult does come out trying to put down some damage, but they're able to soak up quite a bit and not pay for it. Silas engages in mid. The Nami is caught by the Q. Lux ult does come out. Heal blown by Caitlyn.
Will soon fall.
Caitlyn threw out her ult as well, trying to get a kill onto that Nami, but isn't able to. Meanwhile, Silas and Darius are rotating towards this Drake. The Nami was chunked out as well as the Veigar. Might be something that the could look to steal, but currently she can't with the ult being stolen. She could potentially just be knocked away. Silas does come in with the stolen Vi ult. Does get the Lux does end up taking both kills onto the Vi and Veigar. Ultimately, Silas does go down. Currently building Rod of Ages. Darius is bot side again. The ghost is blown. He's got the pull onto the Nami. Nami flashes over the wall, but still gets hit by the Lux ult. The wave comes out, but this doesn't dissuade the ultimate of the Darius. Lucian goes in trying to get a kill onto the Caitlyn, but doesn't get it. Veigar towards bot side. Now looks like the Darius is trapped. Darius goes in onto the Vi. He's already taken a lot of damage. Does get hit by the Everfrost, and Veigar is able to secure the kill there. So his teleport wasn't completely wasted in there. Lucian does blow his ult, and he does get the kill onto the Caitlyn, who was disrespectfully backing in vision in lane. What do you think so far of this game, Emily?
Sorry, I had to step away. I think that this game is kind of a little bit of a bloodbath, but I kind of want to see some return. I feel like it's kind of like fallen a little bit behind, but I'm gonna do a quick stat check, and it looks like Veigar is at 126 stacks, which is not awful.
How much of the gold coins, let's say they're doubloons, or serpents, I want to say they're serpents, does Gangplank have?
113.
So we probably hit 500 already. That's
Is
really
there a way
low.
for me to tell if he hit 500 already?
If you hover over his ult, it might show that it's been upgraded. Not entirely sure.
I don't believe it has, but that's just me not being very
Good
familiar with
stasis
games.
by the Gangplank, trying to outfight them. Swoldemore is tanking out a lot. A massive outplay by the Gangplank as the two-man dive does fall down and ends up being a 2-for-0. Meanwhile, bot side, the Nami and Lucian blow their ult trying to get anything. The heal comes through. The big Gale Force followed up by the Lux ult does get both champs in the bot lane for Testy Culls. Fighting on both sides of the map, it's not going in the favor of Testy Culls.
Yeah, this is gonna be a little bit of a rough game. I think that having like some of the champs that they're used to playing banned out or stuff. Now, are those
Darius
normal
looking
boots
mid.
on your head?
They're all right. Hulk from Gangplank does come in, slowing down the Veigar, does get the kill there. Looks like they're just looking to drop Herald mid and get that first turret. Nami and Vi are here mid. Silas does steal the Nami ult, trying to dissuade the Vi from going in, making sure that Aztec War Priest gets out on that Darius.
Like, can I put like a hit on Aztec in game?
No, because they can't talk to you. None of the players can hear you say that you want to hit Aztec.
I did not say that I wanted to hit on Aztec.
No, put
Love
a
you.
hit on Aztec. Ryan Silas going back and forth with the dashes. Lux does catch out Nami. He blows her up instantly. Flash for flash, and Nami gets caught out. The Lux is currently 6-0-3, looking like the carry in bot lane. Aztec War Priest who catching out the Veigar does get ulted by both the Veigar and Lucian, and finally does get shut down right as Dragon is spawning.
Gabe, I love you.
Does get potential for this Drake to come through. Lucian dashes forward, but they are currently getting closer and closer. The Lux does get out. The Gale Force forward doesn't get the kill. Now Silas is there to join up the bot lane, try to force them out. A lot was given trying to kill the Caitlyn, so I don't know if they're healthy enough. But Lux is putting down more pressure. Big chunk onto Nami with that Q E combo from the Lux.
Yeah.
Won't you join them?
I think that that the bot laners is playing very well together with Lucian and Nami. Lux is being the typical Lux player. Like, they know they do damage, and they're like, you know, I'm just gonna use it. I'm just gonna use it.
Lux does get a snare onto the Nami, who does go down, as well as the Vhagar, who got pulled over the wall and then flashes back over to die into the gangplank wall. Third Drake of the game does go over to Cheezer's.
Back off.
Full scary.
Looks like the bot lane of Testy Culls was doing a good job out damaging and bullying this Caitlyn, but the Lux has just been fed now. So she can do whatever, and the Vi does get a solo bolo in mid lane against that Sylas, who was over pushing there. Big thing to notice though is that the York is not able to split push the way that he wants to with just the amount of wave clear on this game.
It doesn't look like he's building to split push. He's just kind of building sustain and damage.
He is a bit. Did go Ravenous Hydra. He's building lethality, so he's going for that like solo Q, I'm gonna split push effect, but he's not having any great effect into this gangplank. Gangplank's just been able to
have been a better build.
Behold the horrors.
In all honesty,
Like
I probably
Trinity
wouldn't have
Force,
went.
or...
Probably wouldn't have went Warwick. Split push meta is something very tough, and we've seen the gangplank be more potent with his ult. And even still, he's looking for to dive the fountain. Does get a kill onto the Yorick before getting shut down by the Vi. Meanwhile, mid lane, Lux and Caitlyn catch out the Vhagar under their own turret and ends up getting a kill. Lux once again catches out someone as the Lucian is able to get healed and shielded by the Nami and get the shutdown onto the Lux. They are walking into Darius. Darius does get hit by the bubble. Sylas is coming in. Dueling Nami ult comes out as Nami is now caught out away from her teammates and ends up being the sacrifice so that Lucian can get out.
Sacrificial lamb.
Headshot. Shut down.
Good poke and damage, as well as the follow-up Q to get the shutdown onto the Vi for that Caitlyn. Darius is caught into the baby cage and gets ulted and then shut down, killed by the Lucian. Vhagar's ults aren't currently on point. Flash forward from Caitlyn trying to get a kill, but does go into the cage of Vhagar. Top lane is fighting as well, as Yorick's just applying a ton of damage onto the gangplank. He's caught out and killed by the Yorick, who took almost no damage from that fight. Do have a pause here. There might have been some technical difficulties. Not sure if anybody got caught out or anything.
Oh, it was Magus having top issues. He tends to have like high ping later on at night. I've been kind of watching chat to make sure. Dunk, pass. Someone, oh Jesus.
Just a reminder, we will have a little bit of like a pause in the client there. It is something that Riot's client is wonderful and doesn't handle well. When games are paused and you're spectating, it will go back to normal. It might just take some time at some point.
Okay, they're it looks like 4 people decided that right now they all needed to go to the bathroom.
All right.
First time for everything. And top lane did have some technical issues, and they responded with a gray screen is not a technical issue. Oh god. If you could mirror TPO Cheezers into another team, it is testicles. If that's even something that like have phased your mind right now.
I don't know if everybody that's watching understands that reference, but both of these teams seem to be very wild and crazy in their chats.
Yes.
Like to have a bit of fun, even in the games.
I mean, if playing competitively was always like just serious, it would like it would be boring. Honestly, I would want to have fun. Let's
Once
say
it
we
is
are back
done,
at it.
Yorick was able to take some bounty gold on top turret there.
Red team's turret has been
Oh
destroyed.
my god.
Here's
You're
the
gonna have
pause
to
that we were
explain that one to
talking
me
about.
later.
What? Okay, you can't talk about chat on cast.
Sorry.
Both teams are kind of just doing their thing. It looks like they're trying to make a play onto the Silas, as they did blow the Vagar teleport, trying to force him off bot side.
I'm gonna do a quick stat check if I can find them. Vagar's at 100 or 200 stacks. Gangplank is at 117. I'm guessing that he has had 2 upgrades on his.
If he's at 117 again, he's probably on his last and final upgrade.
Okay, I'm not sure how the Gangplank complete.
You gotta get
Upgrade
500
works.
gold, 500 of those serpents in
Okay.
order to do so, but he's been farming well, so that won't surprise me.
Yes.
In mid lane, Vi is getting caught, catches out the Caitlyn and gets the shutdown. Gangplank tried
Nicely
to
done.
use his ult to dissuade them, but wasn't able to succeed in that. Well, it does look like Testy Culls is rotating towards this Baron. Lucian is trying to get the Gangplank
Oh
and
my
does succeed in
goodness.
doing so. Meanwhile, I
Damage.
think there's just a split where half of Testicles doesn't understand that it's soul point. Bunny Beaver and Aztec are on Drake, currently a 3 versus 2. Bunny Beaver does get caught out. It's not a good fight. I don't know why they started doing this. Lucian does get a kill.
Oh, wow.
Vito does go down to the Darius, but they're able to just turn and take it. Take the dragon and stop
hey,
Soul.
If they can get the kills, I mean, that was worth it. You took out Gangplank, you took out Darius, you took out Silas, and
Big
you
headshot
lost.
by Caitlyn there. As the
Yeah.
Yorick oversteps and ends up getting taken down after that Drake. Probably wasn't necessary to chase the Lux there, as she does have a lot of damage, and Caitlyn was up to kind of save her there. It's a very close back and forth game.
Yeah,
between
yeah,
these
no,
two teams.
that's one thing that I've noticed that's very, very back and forth. Now, Gangplank did build Prowler's Claw. I thought that was like a nerf item.
Able to do so. The Luck, Vi does go in onto the GP with her ult. Both ults are blown as well as the Lux ult. Vi's able to sidestep and get out after securing that kill. teleport was blown by Yorick. Gotta do something here, as there is a wave getting pushed in mid lane, as well as Silas in the bot lane.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
I did
like, they're
back,
being
so they couldn't
persistent.
even start up the Baron.
Interesting build on the Veigar with the Everfrost and Cosmic Drive. There was one thing. Lucian went for the LDR versus the Infinity Edge. Which I can understand with the Gangplank and the Darius.
He can't build Infinity Edge.
Why?
He built Navori Quick Blades. It's either Navori Quick Blades or
Ooh.
Infinity Edge. They're both crit items.
For some reason, I thought he had it at one point. Maybe not. I thought he had like IE at one point, but.
It's kind of a lull in this game currently. Looks like the Darius is gonna get caught out here. Does blow Ghost. Gangplank does also throw out the ult to make sure that he gets out. Don't know if it was a bit of miscommunication. Darius did blow Ghost. Wasn't really looking to fight there.
But the communication right now is Aztec screaming.
Are looking to just take this tier 1 top lane, but Magus Knight is caught in and does get blown up. Big catch out by this by Testy Culls, as they're able to just get 2 for taking the turret there. 2 members go down, the top and jungler right in front of Baron, as they turn to look to take Baron. Lux is there as well as Caitlyn, but I don't know what much they can do.
Much.
Maybe a
No,
Lux
they don't have to wait.
ultimate steal.
You're not risky enough.
The ult is early and she's not able to get it, and Baron does go over to Testicles after that bit of an overstep there by Magus Knight and Aztec War Priest.
Where's my counter?
Mountain Soul?
Oh no. Well, let me have my momentum. Okay, the moment's passed. It looks
Drake
like
is up in 40, so that's gonna be another
Lucian's
big
gonna
fight.
go for a Guardian Angel to win my guess. While I don't know. Gangplank should be going Collector. I feel like that's a typical build now.
Not entirely sure. It's been a while since I played Gangplank, and my Gangplank is a bit weird.
Yeah, you build it differently. I like your build, but like
I build crit, which is not optimal.
yeah. I think it's off.
I'll do 100,000 damage by the end of the game, but you look at me and you might just sneeze and I might just disappear.
Oh, then they look at you and then
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Dragon is started up by Cheezer. They do have it pulled out, but it's pulled out near the side. Vi does go into the pit. She is able to secure the Drake and steal it away. Vi's getting in onto the backline. Big plays by her, as she was able to steal the Drake and continue the fight further.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Now Yorick is teleporting topside to take that inhib turret and potentially the inhib.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Silas is there, but I don't think that he can fight a level 18 Yorick.
Red team's
big plays by this Testy Culls team as they've shown resiliency, able to claw back into after a big play up in that top lane kind of blew over and opened the game for them. They ended up getting Baron. They got a second Mountain Drake, and now two the turrets are taken down, as well as the two turrets that remained up in mid lane. Massive turnaround, and now the gold lead is up in their favor.
Interesting. That was a turn of events. Let's see, so power wise, they've taken 4 and 7.
Very interesting to see the Veigar has not built Death Cap. The very kind of control mage build. He built Everfrost, Cosmic Drive, and Seraphs. Kind of just like he wants to move around and not get caught out if he hits people with abilities.
I can see where the glacial would come into play in his
Darius is looking in for this Lucian, but the stasis does get him out. Darius is now caught.
Oh my god.
As he goes down by a good outplay by the stasis.
What is stasis?
Stopwatch. Flash forward by the Nami, trying to land the bubble, but it barely misses the Lux. Trying to chase even further. It's currently a 5v3 to defend base. Big damage by the Gangplank. Does go in onto the Yorick, but he's getting blown up by the Maiden.
Wow.
Trying to flex his muscles, but ends up going down himself. Big chunk by the Luxall onto the Yorick. Does push him off. So he's going to be forced to reset. Here. Maiden stays in base, pushing that wave. A little bit of chip damage onto this mid turret, but not much after getting several kills.
We do it fair enough in about a minute, and Drake's up in about a minute and a half. The Rabadon was picked up for Silas. It will be interesting to see what Veigar's next move is, because a Rabadon would be good here, especially with the amount of AP he currently has. I mean, he's got 641 with 300. Oops, that was the wrong one. And then 3 stacks, which is 701 AP, and then we have 35 of the serpents on Gangplank.
Getting close to that final upgrade result. Currently a level down onto the Yorick. 40 CS down. The Lucian, the Nami does get a bubble onto the Darius. Darius still looking to get something. Gangplank ult is thrown out as they are looking to see what they can get, but the Darius just goes down. Darius stepped so far forward without the rest of his team.
The damage that's coming out of that Veigar is insane.
He's scaling into the late game. How much AP does he have?
I was just looking at that. He's got like 714 with 316 stacks.
And he doesn't even have
Not
Mage-Eyes, Death Cap, which would destroy. And he gets another kill onto the Gangplank and gets caught in the Yorick cage. And Baron goes again to this Testy Culls team. And ult does come through. And the Maiden does end up tanking it up for the Nami, I believe.
Red team's inhibitors respawning soon.
It looks like another Mountain Soul stacking up for this Testy Culls team. They're currently at 2 and they get a third. The next Drake is going to be Soul for whichever team ends up getting it. What do you think Cheezer needs to get to do in order to kind of stop the bleeding here?
What does Cheezer need to do? I think Maggots needs to have more control of his ultimate. For starters, but like they need to stop being caught out one by one. I feel like they're being like they're playing for picks right now is what Testy Culls is doing, which is like the right thing, but TPO Cheezers needs to be aware of that and needs to learn how to work around that.
Silas does go in, but does get killed by Illusion, as well as Darius does go down. The three-man group is just way too far ahead for this Caitlyn and Lux, where they weren't able to get there. Nami flashes forward, trying to land another bubble. She's definitely feeling herself this game as she's repeatedly tried flashing forward. Caitlyn and Lux are trying to stop the end of the game. Caitlyn gets a shutdown onto Nami. Lux is dying to the minions of Yorick. As Superman.
Oh my god, he's just pushing right into their base.
Yorick's just trying to end as Caitlyn's fighting everybody else. Shut down by the Vi after the ult comes through from Vhagar as Testy Culls ends up taking the series 2-1.
Nicely done. Wow. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I didn't see that coming.
No, that was a big swing of events. I personally feel like Bunny Beaver didn't really have that much impact that game. Ended up kind of being outplayed by the Vhagar. Their Lucian was phenomenal. Caitlyn got bullied heavy in that laning phase. The Vi, Lord Swoldemort, throughout the series was able to try to keep them alive. Stole a Baron, stole a Drake, at least once or twice. I am setting up a poll right now to see about getting who won MVP. Then we'll be pulling in who chat decides. How did you feel about those games, Emily?
I honestly was extremely impressed with how both teams played. I just feel like Cheezer just did not have the like the ability to tie it all together. Like they had the damage, they had the ability to like they could get the kills, but they just couldn't work together to kind of wrap up the loose ends, which is where the testicles came in and just kind of blew over them.
Definitely seemed like Testicles was fighting as at least a 4-man, if not the 5-man unit.
Yeah.
Well, there was a lot of people running in trying to engage, while the Caitlyn and Lux were not anywhere close to apply any sort of pressure or help out at all. Currently have votes as of right now.
So yeah, of let's. All right, everybody, get your MVP votes in. I'm gonna literally pull each and every single one of you in this call, and I'm not kidding.
Looks like Hugh has a vote currently. Looks like either the team's not watching or the team is afraid to vote.
Hold on, I'm gonna go fix this real quick.
Very close matchup between these two teams. feel like we're only gonna have the one vote for Hugh Jaden, so we are gonna be pulling him in briefly.
There you go. They'll be. I told them that if they don't all vote, then
You were way too late for doing that.
oh, sorry.
How's it going, Hugh? You got voted for MVP.
It looks like you're getting pulled in. Your team did you dirty.
How do you feel about that game and that
Ooh.
series?
Wait, what the hell is going on right
He was like, wait a minute, wait a minute.
Apparently, he was not there.
He was confused. That's why he got pulled in.
Yes. All right, but that apparently is going to be it for us here at
He didn't
TPO.
even want to come in to be interviewed.
Apparently they were all shy and didn't want to come in to be interviewed or ask about anything. But thank you all for tuning in and dealing with the technical difficulty that we had.
Yes.
We had to switch computers and then also go back to the regular TPO channel. This is all for week 2, but we will be setting up for week 3, which will be next weekend. So we will catch you all then.
Yes,
Have a
everyone.
nice
Have a good
night,
night. Thanks for
everyone.
tuning in.